Do we have anybody here? Type in the comment section if you are here and you can hear me. Let's go. Type in the comment section. Let's if you are here and share the live to the group so that others can join in. And let's start immediately. We don't have a lot of time. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Share the live to the group so that they will know we are active. We are live already. Anybody here? Anybody here? All right. So as you're coming in, we don't have a lot of time to wait, and we're not going to wait for a lot of people because we're trying to keep this as short as possible and as engaging as possible. At any point in time that you're unable to hear me, because I will share my screen right away, do let me know. And how you're going to let me know is you can write on the WhatsApp. Um, you can write me directly on WhatsApp, and I will, um, respond to it. And let's see, what time is it? Let's see how share the live, share the link again, and let's see how many people will come in so that we can start. We have just 3 people, present here, and it doesn't look encouraging. Because right away, as I said, today we are not going to talk so much. We don't have that time. All right. So engage on the live, like the live stream so that it can, you know, those in the building, can you give some taps? Can you just like the live and share the live, share the link with friends so we can go. We are live. So in about 5 minutes from now, we are starting. Anyone who doesn't come in, then they will have to watch later. All right. So can you introduce yourself in the chat box and And just let me feel your energy. Let me feel how excited you are about what's going on. If you can hear me, I want to see lights popping up in the. I want to see the reactions. So let's go. Before I share my screen. So what we are going to learn today is about, I emphasize a lot on how everyone should try and get their setup ready before today, because everything we are going to do today is practical. Everything we are going to do is practical. And we are going to make use of our Kali Linux today because, and now the title of this class, the topic, let me give you one, is Kali Linux administration. Linux administration. That is what we are going to look at today. And we are going to interact with Kali Linux today. Can you hear me? Can you type in can you comment if you can hear me? Comment if you can hear me. Let's go. So we are dealing with Kali Linux administration today. And Kali Linux is number one tool you use when it comes to ethical hacking, penetration testing, and the various, other areas. All right, thank you, Tony. Other areas of, you know, um, penetration testing. You have penetration testings. You have security operations center. Sometimes they call some groups the red team, the blue team, purple team, and the rest. So right about now, I will be sharing my screen. And don't, if there is any challenge, please take a moment to write me on WhatsApp. So I am already sharing my screen. Yeah. Someone is greeting and calling my name there. I am already sharing my screen. So right about now, please, if you can't see my screen, can somebody write me on WhatsApp to let me know that you are all seeing my screen? Please do that now. Write me on WhatsApp. The objective of this class, if you can see my screen, this is the objective of the class today. We are going to perform some Linux operations today. Basically, can't see the screen. Mr. Chijindu, someone said they are seeing my screen, so I think it should be with your, okay. So people are seeing my screen. All right, thank you. Thank you, I appreciate that. So Kali Linux, let's see how many of the operations we are going to perform today. The reason why we are getting started with Kali Linux administration is because tool you need. I was talking to someone today and they said, okay, let me not bring her story, but Linux administration, the same way you are able to use your Windows. All right. Linux administration is the act of setting up, configuring users and computer systems running a Linux distribution. This distribution we are talking about here is because there are many distributions that Debian. There is something called Debian operating system, and Kali Linux is one of the distributions That's where you hear some distribution. Some people call Ubuntu, some people call Parrot, um, Fedora. But in this class, we are going to use Kali Linux tools, more applications than the other distributions. So when it comes to administration, it means that you are able to set up, you are able to configure, and you are able to manage users. We watch movies, and that is one of the motivations. One of the things that motivate us to want to learn. I don't. We want to learn hacking. We see how interesting they use their keyboards, and before you know, the reports that we are in. All those are possible. And what is going to make that possible, we are going to discuss and even demonstrate that in this class. But before we do all of those, we must understand the tool used for that. And the tool is Kali Linux. Kali Linux is a dedicated operating system for penetration testing, for hacking in general. So now it says the activities include the creation of user accounts, installation of required software, configuring the said software, as well as creating and restoring backups. So we are going to perform some of these operations probably in this class. And why do we use Kali Linux? I already said it. Please, if I am too fast, write me on WhatsApp. So Kali Linux, as I said, is the number one because it comes with almost all the tools needed, almost all the tools needed to perform your penetration testing exercises. All right. So one of the first, before we dive deeper, I have to those that have set up and to those who are not, some of us here are not even new to this Kali Linux. But to those who are very new, one of the favorite places in Kali or on Kali Linux is the terminal, the Linux terminal. To those that have watched movies, hacking related movies, you see how everything that happens is the cyber criminal, what they do is they always type. They always type, and sometimes, or in most cases, you see the text always shows green, a black background, and then either green or white text. That environment that the typing takes place or the hacking takes place is called the Linux terminal. The Linux terminal is a command line tool. It is called command line because everything you do there is text based. You want to open a file, you type. You want to perform any operation at all, you type. So the Linux terminal is your favorite place to go as a penetration tester, as a hacker. And before we go further, please, everything you're going to learn here is for educational purpose. I am establishing this fact because it's like teaching someone how to use a gun. If you don't use that gun the right way or with permission legally, you can cause chaos with it. So the information you're going to get, the skill you're going to learn here, please use it to solve problems and not to create problems. We know that there are a lot of assets out there that are very, very vulnerable. They are easy to break in, but you are not going to do that because you're not learning this to cause chaos. You're learning this to use it to stop those who would cause chaos. All right. So the layer is where we are going to perform almost all our operations on as we use Kali Linux. So there is something we are going to do right away, and that is how to access the root account that comes with Kali Linux. The reason we are going to do this is because you need access to it in order to perform your operations without, limitations. Those who have set up their accounts, all you can perform, yes, you can perform a level of operations, but you always require permission to perform to perform some tasks. Those tasks can be performed only by the root account. The root account. So while it is early, we are going to gain access to this root account. But before we go on, let's establish something. This here is structured. Structured into use Kali Linux and perform operations. No. A skill that you can deploy tomorrow, get a job with. That is the goal of what we are doing here. So that is to introduce you to what we call the hacking method. That is to introduce you to something called the hacking methodology. If you don't follow this methodology, you are not going to get the result intended for your client. You have to do everything with order. So, what is hacking methodology? Hacking methodology simply means the steps or phases in hacking generally. If I may ask, to establish this, there is no thief, there is not one person that wants to go and steal. If you have watched this movie, Money Heist, you will see that it took them a lot of time to gather information and plan their way through. The same thing goes here. So in hacking, generally, there are series of phases that you must go through. And those phases, methodology. So in our case, the methodology or the phases in hacking methodology are the information gathering phase, or you can call the second phase is scanning and enumeration. The third phase is to gain access or exploitation. And the fourth phase is maintaining access. And the last phase is to cover your tracks. So the success of this phase is dependent on on the information gathering phase. So this is the graphical representation. Every phase is connected to the next phase. The previous phase is connected to the next phase. That means for this scanning phase, for you to do a thorough job in phase, you must have good information. You must have done a thorough job in the information gathering phase. Information. So we are going to see when you are gathering information, what are the things you look out for? When you are in you're scanning or enumerating, what are the things you look out for? And for us to achieve all of this attack in the middle means that we are also going to see how attacks are performed. We discussed that in the last class. So to make sure to be able to perform attacks, then we are going to use Linux. And that is why we are talking about Kali Linux today. So let's move over to our Kali Linux and take a look at what it looks like. Linux. This is Kali Linux. To those of you that have set up your Kali Linux terminal, this is the terminal. I hope you can see it. Where you see at the top menu, this is your terminal. So we are going to launch this terminal and see what it looks like. So this is what the terminal looks like. And at the moment, I am logged in as root, so I will switch to my regular account, switch user, so we can demonstrate how to gain access to this root account. Please, can somebody write me on WhatsApp to know what is going on? I need to get an update. So I will sign in with this account. Can somebody let me know what? Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. So that while installing my Kali Linux. Okay, maybe when I zoom in, you will see the screen better, okay? So this account I am operating with right now, most of you that, just set up your Kali Linux have, all right? So how to access the root account? What do we do? Account, I will select, while my terminal is coming up, look at the Linux basic operations. Linux basic operations. It's from these operations that we are going to, perform this operation to gain access. So the first we have looked at it already. The next command here, is sudo. This sudo means super user do. You can only use this command on your regular account, such as this account. Look at the difference. The difference is that this is the username. Because this is a regular user, it's showing my name and it is not root. As we are going, let me tell you something that you must work with from today. As a penetration tester, as a cybersecurity expert, you cannot afford not to pay attention or not to pay attention to details. The mistake, it's like programmers. If as a programmer you miss, depending on the programming language you are using, you miss just a comma, or you fail to terminate the line, you are going to have an error. And if you don't bring your eye so close to spot out that error, it can cause a lot of frustration. So in penetration testing, in ethical hacking, you must pay attention to details. So I am saying that to show you this. Always, for you to know the user account you are dealing with. Currently, you have 2 user accounts. The account you're operating right now is the account you created while installing Kali Linux. The next account is the root account, and we want to access the root account from here. When you install Kali Linux afresh, to gain access to that root account, you type this command, sudo, and you can say sudo su. This sudo means super user do, and this su means to switch user. Super user do promotes, it's like elevating your privilege, making you the super user, elevating you so you can have the permission, the privilege to perform the tasks that admin or the root account can perform. So if you and I run this command and hit enter, it will authenticate. It will want to verify, are you really this person? You know what authentication is all about. So to authenticate, you're going to type in your password. And take note of this. On Kali Linux, when you are typing your password, it will not display. This is to some of you that are very new. As you're typing your password, you won't see. So type your password, hit enter. Look at what has happened. It shows that this shows that we now have access to the root account. What are we doing again? What operation are we performing? We want to access the root account. And this command has given us access to this account. But everything is still happening in this user's environment. This user's environment. Because why I said this user's environment is because if you launch another instance of terminal, you see that it's still showing you that this user is the one logged in. So for us to gain access to the root environment so that we can log in as root, what we are going to do here now is to change the password to the root account. So as we do this, to change password on Kali Linux for any user from the terminal, the command is passwd. Since we are already in this user account, what we are going to do is just to type the password command. Forget about this suggestion you are seeing. We will demonstrate it later in a different way. So if I hit the password, if I hit enter, it will now ask me to type in the password of my choice, the password that I want for this account. So you go ahead, type in the password that you want. Let me type 1. Hit enter. Remember, as you type, you won't see the password. Retype the password again. And it will tell you that password updated successfully. This shows that we have created a password for this account, right? And with that, we can now log in to this root, to its own environment. So what we are going to do here is type exit to now exit back to this account. And we will go over here and switch user. So it's loading. Now I can log back in as root because I have changed my password for the root account. So you also, that is how you can gain access to the root account when you, after a fresh installation. The next thing, so from everything that has happened, we've looked at Linux terminal, which we are using, and then we have seen the power of sudo. So always use sudo when you want to perform administrative operations, because to change password, only admins can change passwords. The next thing we are going to look at is to update. Now, for me to perform this update operation, I will switch back to my regular account. Let me switch back to the other account that is not root, so we can demonstrate the power of sudo one more time. Remember, don't forget, sudo gives a regular user account the permission, the power to perform administrative tasks that only admins can perform. That is what it means. So I will log in as the regular account. And now I will clear to wipe the screen. To wipe this screen, the command is clear. It will clear the screen for us. And it's good to always clear the screen so we know, we can keep track of what we have been doing. So I said to update your Kali Linux machine, your Kali Linux operating system, the command, only admins can do that. But with the power of sudo, we can update this machine right now. So to update, we say sudo apt update. Now, before we run this command, why do we have update and upgrade Kali Linux at the top of operations that we want to perform? The reason is this. Remember, the goal of this training is to teach you how to recognize factors that bring about cyber breaches, that bring about hacking opportunities. So the reason why cyber attacks happen or take place is because there is a flaw, there is a weakness, and in many cases, it is because the version of that asset is out of date. So it's a security practice. So it's a security practice for you to always update, your operating system. Now, as I said before, to update, only admins can do that. And to demonstrate that, let me clear the sudo command and then run this apt without supplying sudo. Look at what happened. Because it is a regular user account and not the root account, I run this command that only root accounts or admins can run, and it says that permission has been denied. I don't have the permission to run this command. Now let's apply sudo to that command and see what happens. This command will now give us the permission to run this command, the sudo. So let's enter and see what is happening. You see, this command is going inside the sudo command. So whenever you are running operations, you're performing any operation, for example, to update, to install applications, as a regular user account, you must not forget to supply the sudo command alongside. All right, you must not forget. And that is why we have been able to go through. The next command you are going to run is the next operation rather is to upgrade. Remember I said that upgrading your machine, it's like those using iOS right now, iPhones. There is iOS 26, right? Yes, iOS 26. For you to be able to fight, whatever vulnerabilities, whatever flaws are available on 18, they have been fixed already in the iOS 26. Of course, iOS 26 being a new application or operating system might have its own flaws. And when they are going to upgrade it, will be currently, I think it's 26.1. When they notice that there is a flaw in 26.1, they will upgrade. You will have to upgrade it to 26.2. So Updates or yes, versions of applications are rolled out to solve this problem, security problems, and to implement functionalities. I am saying this so that you can go after now, those that have set up their own Kali Linux can go back and make sure you upgrade it. Upgrade it. And to upgrade, this is the command apt. Instead of update, you are now saying upgrade. So you can write this down. Upgrade, then add Y to it. Don't forget to supply sudo. So write this command down and you are going to run it at the end of this class so you can upgrade it before we meet again. This Y is to run. Let's run it so you see what it means. So it will load and continue. Instead of asking you at this point that would you like to or not, it will not ask you. It will just go straight into installation, just as you are seeing. So this is how I am also upgrading my own, but I will switch users. Okay, people, network is really, really messing up. Okay, but I hope this recording was good so I could share with you guys later when it's ready. Okay, so sorry about that network. That's why we are Nigeria, right? So we will end the live stream here. I will put the recording together and share with you guys. Okay, so sorry about the network issues. All right. Who was periodic beer that was here? Okay, so guys, this is much we can do today while I share the materials with you people on the WhatsApp group. All right. So I can't really tell the point at which we lost connection. But when we meet again, we are going to run through and then from the beginning again before we continue for our next class. So I see you guys again, and don't worry, I'll share the video on this with you guys. Okay. So thank you and enjoy your night, and we catch up next week again. All right. Bye bye. End stream.